Ladies and gents, we have been teasing about it, been hitting at him, and he's finally here. This guy came into the NFL in the 2016 draft when he was selected in the 4th round with the 111th overall pick to the Detroit Lions out of Southern Utah University. And then from there, after, his tenure there, signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2021 as an unrestricted free agent and has been blocking punts, being our special teams captain and everything else in between. Talking about none other than Miles Killebrew. Miles, man, first off, bro, always good to talk to you, man. Appreciate you taking some time and hop on the show with us today.
Oh, of course, Mr. Moats. It's a pleasure to be here, man. I had to pull over here, and hopefully I have good reception. Hopefully you can hear me.
You solid over there, baby. You sounding great, man. Now,
probably the best call reception we've ever had for an interview.
Hey,
good.
But that's because you're the captain. We don't expect anything less. We didn't set the stage. We said when the special teams captain takes time, just know it's going to be professional. It's going to be locked up, everything we need it to be. So we definitely appreciate that, man.
Oh, man.
But look, we got to start at the beginning of this thing, bro. I know you from, Nevada and all that good stuff, but Southern Utah University for college. Talk to me about it, man. What was your recruitment like, and how did you ultimately end up going there, man?
Man, first of all, I appreciate the introduction.
Oh, no,
it is not lost on me. You guys are a classy organization over here, so I really appreciate it. You're gonna love this story. Actually, it's a brief one. It's a brief one. I actually only had one offer coming out of high school.
What?
And one full ride offer, and that was to Southern Utah University. Coach Lamb at the time, he was the head coach at SUU. He and Coach Enna, he coached linebackers there. They brought me in and they offered me that scholarship because my first 10 plays on my highlight film were all kickoffs. They said they had never seen anything like it. They had never seen a player put special teams play as their highlights on their highlight film. And so they said, we got to get this guy in here. And so I love special teams. I've been loving it since I was in high school.
What? Let's go.
And I mean, it's just one of those things. And so I get there, I get a scholarship because they said they like my special teams play. I end up getting to SUU, real small school in the mountains of Southern Utah.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar though, man. That's that one double A ball over there, man. Heck
yeah. It's a nice little view. It's real sweet, man. It was a good spot. So I was there, did 5 years. I had finished my engineering degree at SUU, and I wanted to be the biggest safety in football, and so I put on a bunch of weight, put on like 60 pounds in college, and still played special teams, man. I was blocking punts at SUU, and it's just always been my heart's desire, So when everybody's always like, "Hey, Miles, you gonna play defense? You gonna play some?" At the time back then, are you gonna play more offense? I was running back coming out of high school. Are you, what are you going to do? What's your plan? You want to go to a bigger school? I was like, nah, man, I don't want to hear none of that. I'm loving it here. I'm playing special teams. I loved it. And so, when I got drafted to the Lions and they told me, hey, you're going to have to play special teams, all rookies do, man, that was icing on the cake. I was like, let's go.
Man,
that's
what I
want
to do anyways.
That's the only reason I'm here, because without teams, I wouldn't have even went to college.
Man,
so it's
that is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's been fun. It's been a fun journey.
Hey, so you really didn't think about transferring at any point?
Like, you was cooking.
Say that one more time?
Yeah. You really didn't think about transferring at any point from SUU?
No. No.
Man, you came out the gate putting up numbers over there, man. After your red shirt year, we like, all right, leading the tackles, this, picks, hits, all this. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I have a saying that I'm stealing from my dad here. He would always tell me to make it count where you're at. And so even in high school in Vegas, I mean, whenever I say I'm from Vegas, people are like, "Oh, did you go to Bishop Gorman? That's a big school in Vegas." I say no, and I had an opportunity to. They want to recruit guys, and I said no. I didn't want to transfer to a private school. I wanted to, just play at Foothill. I figured, if I can make it out of there, I can make it out anywhere. So
man,
I went
a man
to
of the
SUU.
people, man. A man of the
people.
people.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Ride it
go.
out, man. Ride it out. Yeah.
No, I like that, bro. I like that. So, shoot, you obviously, like I said, 4 years of actively playing. We obviously knew you had the red shirt your first year, but you put up numbers over there at SUU, and ultimately, you get into this NFL draft, man. talk about the NFL draft, man, everything leading up to it, combine,
Oh,
etc.
man.
And yeah, man, what was it like when you finally got that call and stuff? But
It was exciting. It was exciting. I'm glad I went to the combine. It was one of the most stressful things I've ever experienced because I didn't go to Bama, man. I didn't know anybody who's been through this process, who's, gone to a Senior Bowl. I didn't know anything about this stuff, dude. I didn't have anyone to ask. My dad was a cyclist. He did velodrome cycling, in the Olympic trials, and he played instruments, but he didn't play NFL football. I didn't have anyone to ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I was stressed. I had no idea that they keep you up all night at the combine and interviews and feed you pizza and ice cream and then ask you to go run a 40 on the third day. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I had the slowest 40 I've ever run. And so now for the rest of my career, they're like, oh, this guy's a 4.60. I'm like, I promise I'm not. I promise you I'm not. But it's whatever. It was a lot of fun. I was a pioneer for the program at SBU. They were super proud, and it's just been a lot of fun going back and pouring into guys, and it's been a blast, man. It's been a good time.
Now, in terms of the Lions calling you and stuff like that, man, did you have any idea that it was actually going to be you, or that they were going to actually be the team calling you and stuff like that? I know there's some stories out there surrounding it, but I want to hear from you, man, in terms of, I
had no idea. That was the one team I knew for sure it wasn't going to be. The coach, I won't say his name now. There's been some controversy around him, but he did not want me. He made it clear. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. You don't like big safeties. I try to be cordial with you and shake your hand, but you're going to tell me to my face you don't want me. It's pretty safe to think I'm not going to that team. And so when they called, man, I was shocked. I was really shocked. It was the same day as my graduation, so I had to bust it up to SUU with my cap and gown, and it was an interesting day. We were super happy, super excited. The start of a long career. I mean, there's no way you could never have told me that I would have been playing. This is my 8th year in the league. Yeah. There's no way, dude. There's no way I was expecting this. So this has been a true gift from God. I'm grateful every single day I'm here.
No, without a doubt, man. And shoot, man, we're grateful to have you on this team, man. Because like you said, man, what you've been able to do in terms of bringing in that special teams leadership, the special teams production, and now even so with some of the injuries on the back end, now you even getting some snaps on defense as well, man. You're definitely helping us out in a major way. But I did want to ask, man, after you finished up in Detroit, you get the chance to come over here in free agency. What went through that process in terms of why the Steelers? Did you have other teams that you were considering?
I did. I was always drawn to the Steelers. My dad's favorite coach was always Coach Tomlin.
Let's go.
And I really admired the consistency in the organization. That it seemed like a team that was very loyal to its personnel, whether it's coaches or players. It just seemed like a family oriented place that's obviously steeped in tradition of winning. And who doesn't want that? It was very attractive. I was coming off of a very strenuous, it was a very taxing regime that I was leaving with the Lions. Yeah, it was just a lot. It was just a lot mentally. Anyone who was there during those later years that I was there, after Caldwell, it was just kind of it was a hard place. I don't want to speak ill on anyone, but it was a hard place to be. And so I was eager to get out, and it was just a good fit here. It was a great fit here. I really love the culture here. I want to add to it. I want to be someone who encourages guys to add to it. And so it's been a great fit. It's been a great fit.
Nah, we definitely agree with you on that fit. And was it a tough decision in terms of signing your extension to come back, or were you, ever flirting with the concept of maybe I do want to go somewhere else again?
No, I mean, I've always been the guy. Just my whole story, like I just shared with you, I want to make it count where I'm at. I'm definitely not a grass is greener type of guy. What's that saying? The grass is greener where you water it, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I have work here yet to be done. There are guys that I'm invested in. There are things that I want to see happen during the time that I'm here. I want to see things done here, and I want to be a part of it. And I believe in a lot of what the Steelers have, what they stand for, and it just aligns with who I am as a person. I believe that to my core. I'm all about the hard work. I'm all about upholding tradition that's been laid out by those before me, and I respect it a great deal. And it's something that I'm excited about every single day I get to go in and work here.
Now, I know you mentioned you love special teams all growing up, but when did you actually like realize in the NFL like you could be special teams guy, like that could be your niche?
That's a great question. I think every player, no matter what they love to do, they have to answer, okay, what type of player am I going to be at this level? And when I was at SU, I mean, I'm not going to kid you here. I was known for just smacking dudes. Like, that's just what I was. I was
Talk
running
that
around.
talk, Killebrew. Talk that talk.
I was at like 230, 235, and I ran a 4.42 at my junior day
You
at
killing people
230.
out there, man.
Dude, I was smacking people, and it was a lot of fun. But I realized very quickly when I got to the league, either A, you know, I'll put it this way. I learned that style of play was on the decline. You weren't seeing as many Cam Chancellors. You weren't seeing these type of, you can just roam around and just lay dudes. And we're seeing that this year, with my guy Kazee. You just can't do it anymore. It's just a different game. And so I was like, okay, well, what type of player am I going to be? Because, I had to figure it out. And so when I blocked a punt in Detroit, I was like, okay, this is something that is a skill that translated. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I can get a bunch of tackles and I can block punts. That's what I can do. So that's what I've been doing. I've been just trying to excel at that and trying to be the best in the world at it. That's my goal. And so I'm still on that journey. I don't think I'm there yet. But that's what I want.
Now, I listened to one of your previous interviews you've done on YouTube, and you take being a captain pretty seriously. Is there like a key thing or one thing that sticks out to you in terms of like leadership that like you would like to share? Like, what's a lesson? What's like one of the big things that you take away from like being a leader? Like, what makes a good leader?
Well, my first year that I got voted captain last year, I thought that being a captain meant that I need to be constantly, at the front of the ship, first one to dive in, first one to do everything, just kind of like showing how it's done and being everywhere for all the guys, right? Just like pouring of myself into all the guys so that everyone feels like they know what to do, and like almost like a assistant coach, man. That's what I thought it was. And so I had one of the least productive years of the league of my time in the league last year, just because I was trying to be all these different things and it just didn't work out. And so this year I realized very quickly, well, at the end of last year, going into this year, this off season, I realized very quickly, I'm not worth a damn as a leader if I don't take care of my own yards first. And so I've been tilling my grass. I've been making sure my front yard is clean and making sure that I give the young guys something to aspire to. Yeah. Because it's not about what I say if I ain't doing what, if I don't have the actions to match and something that they want to be a part of. And so I make sure now that, I'm doing my job and I'm doing it at a very high level. And now because of that, I can show you, hey, this is how it's done. Now you're more interested in what I do off the field because my business on the field is in order.
Nah, love that, man. Love that. And that's impactful, man. And we obviously know for this team, when you got younger dudes, man, that look up to guys like you or younger guys that's trying to find their way in this league, you need them type of voice in the locker room, man. You need those type of voices getting in their ears, man. So salute you on that one in a major way.
Thank you.
Now, You had talked a little bit about just the different, way that the NFL is going, right? In terms of big safeties hitting hard, the Cam Chancellor, shout out to him, but you also brought up Damontae Kazee. Obviously just got suspended for the rest of the season and was upheld, which is still crazy to us. But just as a whole, man, what is the new coaching point, or how are you guys talking amongst yourselves about how to play those type of situations going forward now that we've seen what they're willing to do from a penalty standpoint in terms of ejecting him, but then also suspended him, where now we're talking about him losing, six figures in money on top of everything as well, man. So like, what's that conversation like for you guys as safeties now?
Man, it's really hard, man. It's really hard. I mean, already the target that we're allowed to hit is so small, and the time that we're even allowed to hit that target is so small that, I mean, it's almost like short of telling a guy to just let him catch the ball first and turn up field and then tackle. I mean, it's almost getting to that point.
Yeah.
I know it's an offensive league. Everyone wants to see the splash plays. Everyone wants to see more touchdowns. I get that. But, it is a really difficult thing to coach now, because you can be in perfect position, but what you're able to do under the letter of the law is almost nothing now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
Like Kazee asked after that play. Kazee's asking, okay, do I just let him catch the ball then?
Right.
And you almost have to say yes, because he's in a vulnerable position. He's reached out for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you can do besides attack the ball, right? I think that's the only gray area in a lot of these rulings, that you can still attack the ball. So I've seen multiple times, I'll use another guy. I use like Minka, or even in this last game, Landon Roberts. He's running and he hit a guy, right? He hit a quote unquote defenseless receiver, but his arms are out.
Yeah.
And he's
he
looking
fired
back.
on him too.
And so I think what you're going to start seeing is a lot more acting jobs where guys know they're not going to get the ball, but if they're reaching their arms out, now all of a sudden I can hit this dude. And unfortunately, that's what it's getting to. That's it. There's always going to be a
reverse
reaction.
flop. I like it.
There's always going to be a reaction to anything, to any rule that's implemented. And I think that's what it's going to get to. I think you're going to see a lot of guys starting to hit guys with their arms out.
Yeah. Because, we were literally looking at the play, and I'm like, Kazee is in perfect position. He makes a great read and break on the ball. If anything, you're like, why are you putting that ball in that position? But at the same time, I mean, the way that they penalizing you guys over there on that defense side of the ball is crazy, man. So, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm not immune. I've had to fight 2 different fines this year. One for a accidental face mask, and one for you wouldn't have even known the play. I was just rushing the punter, and I made accidental contact with the helmet, and I had a fine on it. So it's like, you just, dude, it's there's a lot of fines you don't hear about.
And they're gonna hit you with he's a repeat offender. Yeah, that Miles, he's a
dude,
repeat. You're like, what? What? Where'd you get that from?
That's what we said about Kazee. I don't remember any of the 4 or 5 hits that they fined him for this year.
Offender.
I don't remember him at all.
Yeah.
We're all repeat offenders. I'll tell you that.
Sheesh, man.
If you're playing this game, you're a repeat
Ain't that
offender
the
already.
Now, this was another hot topic, hot button issue over the last week or two as well. Coming off of the Steelers' big win this past Saturday, arguably probably our best win we've had in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Has Coach T lost the locker room?
I'm sorry, what was that last question?
Has Coach T lost the locker room?
Has he lost the locker room?
After the big win last week.
Did he lose the locker room?
Yeah, it's kind of like a sarcastic question.
Because everybody's always on this.
I was about to say,
he's lost the locker room, man. Every week he lost the locker room. We lose, you lose locker room.
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah.
People outside the building have absolutely no idea. You know what I mean? Like, they have absolutely no clue. Anyone who's ever heard Coach Tomlin address a group of men, they know that he He is the motivator of all motivators. He will get you to light your hair on fire or run into a brick wall.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it,
that's
man.
just how he does it. I mean, if he's lost, if there ever is a day that he has lost the ability to motivate someone to give their best effort, then that person just can't be motivated. That's my opinion. Because I mean, look, we're all professionals. We all want to win. You know, it's not like anyone's actively going out there trying to lose a game or do bad at their job. And so no, I'll take it like it's not a sarcastic question, and I'll tell you that, you know, there's a lot of things that would happen first before you would have to worry about Coach Tomlin ever losing the respect of the men that he's you know, speaking in front of, that he's leading out there every Sunday, because he just does so much to be invested in us as men individually, just our growth as a collective. He does so much. He's so intentional with it. I don't think it's lip service just because of the amount of time and effort. I mean, dude has kids. He has a family. He could be out of this building, you know, 3:00 every day, you know, come in, do the required hours. But he doesn't. He stays late. He asks a lot of his coaches, of his assistants, and he makes sure that you understand that he has done his due diligence in preparing us for the opponent at hand. So, you know, I can't say enough about him, just because I've seen so many different coaches and so many different coaching styles just in my short, you know, time in the league. And
now,
he's a real deal,
this
man.
not a short time. You on year 8. This is you getting gray hairs in the NFL, man. You've been here for a while. Just throw that out. Don't minimize it.
I appreciate that.
Oh, so I like it, man. I like that. So we got a couple more questions. Then after that, man, we'll be done. But I did want to ask, man. You know, throughout your tenure, your career, you've made a lot of plays, right? You talked about blocking punch. You talked about all those things. But at the same time, you've also made plays on defense, man. Big time picks, scoring touchdowns, etc. What would you say is your favorite play from your career, though?
Well, here's the deal, man. I've had picks. I've had forced fumbles. You know, I picked off Drew Brees.
Yeah, I say you got some Hall of Famers on your belt, man. Yeah, you stamped over there, man.
Had a 35-yard, you know, pick six against the Cardinals. That was
touch
fun.
paint. Okay, you didn't touch paint. I hear you.
I touch paint. I'm gonna tell you what, though. This season, when I blocked that punt against the that was probably my favorite moment. And I think you could tell by how much I celebrated.
Oh, you went crazy.
I'll tell you why I went crazy on that play. You know, I've blocked punts before, but it's almost always been because of the negligence. I won't say 100% because of negligence, but a lot of plays like that have to do with negligence of the punting team.
Yep.
You know, oh, this guy's kind of free. Oh, this guy, you know, they just didn't block him.
Yeah.
That one I not only beat my guy that was blocking me, but I beat the personal protector and was able to block it across my body while the punter was also punting away from where I was at. So because of that, and it was in such a crunch time.
Yeah.
And I had been practicing that exactly how it happened. I had been practicing it diligently for weeks. It just was a culmination of just so much anticipation and prayer, and it was just awesome, dude. And I think that was my favorite moment in the league, and probably, you know, in football up to this point, just because just so much has gone into it, and it wasn't just because of negligence. It was because of I actually had to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I actually had to do it.
100%. It's a difference. Like, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, man, a guy can get a sack, but was he a free rusher and nobody blocked him, or did he actually put a dope move, kick somebody's butt, and then make that play? They don't feel the same, man. So 100%, man.
They don't feel the same.
Against the division rival. About it. Yeah.
Against the Ravens. You know what I mean? Like, against the Ravens. Like,
we needed that too.
No, facts, man. That was a spark. Absolutely. Come on, man.
Yeah, I want that feeling, you know, all the time. And, you know, we don't chase feelings, you know, we chase consistency, but God, man, that just felt so good, man. It felt so good.
But if you think about it, that's what we call that football justice, right? You didn't just wake up on that game and say, okay, now I'm going to go beat this dude, beat the PP, and I'm going to make this block cross my body. You talked about how you have been practicing this thing for weeks, man. Before the opportunity ever presented itself, you was preparing for it, man. And then when it actually did present itself, you was able to capitalize. That's what it's about. That's that professionalism. But that's also why you've been doing this thing for so long and at such a high level as well, man.
I appreciate that. I've been blessed to have some good coaches, some good teammates as well, to have guys that got my back on this unit, and they know I got theirs. It takes a team to get this stuff done, and it takes a coach that's willing to fire the gun. And I can't speak highly enough about Danny Smith.
Shout out to Danny, man. One time for 30 pieces of bubble gum, man. Let's go.
Dude he sits in that office, man, and he draws stuff up. He's a mad scientist, and you will be hard pressed to find someone more passionate about their craft. And I think we're just a match made in Steelers heaven, man, because it's just been a lot of fun working with him. It's been a lot of fun.
No, big facts, man. Big facts. Love Danny, man.
Who is the special teams GOAT? We asked Presley Harvin who the GOAT punter was. Because obviously, whenever you're talking about GOATs, you bring up the quarterback, you bring up receivers, running backs. But who's the special teams GOAT? Is it just Matthew Slater? Who's the guy that everyone looks up to?
What about you got a Kasim Osgood? You got some names out there, man.
You got some names, but you can't. Yeah, it's hard to go against Slater. He's been doing it for so long, and he's such a class act, and he's a guy that, I've looked up to multiple times in my career, and it's, I've always watched how he does certain things. Now, obviously he's made a lot of money at gunner. That's been his thing. He's kind of, revolutionized that position. Yeah. He's very good at kickoff too, as well. But he's done it at a high level for a lot of years, man. You called me old. He's been doing it for
double us, right? Combine both of us together, like, yo, he's stacked in there, man.
And so when he came up to me after the New England game, because I blocked one in New England as well, and I was surprised. I wasn't surprised by that one, but I just know that New England is very well coached, and they know the strengths of teams that they play.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about it, but when I had gotten one against New England, he came up to me after the game, and he told me how, that he respects how I do that. That he said I'm the best. He told me I'm the best at it.
Yo,
and I was like, dude, coming from the special teams GOAT.
So you're the current GOAT.
Okay.
Whoa.
I was like, man, I'll never forget that. And so that was cool that he was able to, just kind of give me my nod.
That's
to recognize.
Fire. That is fire, right there.
I'm grateful that that we have that relationship, that we can, And so that's my vote. I've just seen him do it for so long, man. For so long. He's got the most tackles. He's got 170.
Oh, it's insane, man. It's insane. Like I said, he was doing it before I got to the league. I played against him for 4 years in Buffalo. He was doing it dominant then, and he's still doing it now. So yeah, man, it's crazy, crazy. All right. Well, the final question then that I got for you is simply this, man. We always talk about that moment where you realized I'm no longer in college. I'm officially in the NFL now, man. And typically, it's that wake up moment. You're like, whoa, all right, it's real over here. And we call it the welcome to the NFL moment. If you could, man, just share your welcome to the NFL moment.
I mean, would you expect anything less than for mine to have been on a kickoff, my very first play in the NFL? Dude, I got
your very first play.
Blindsided against the Indianapolis Colts on a kickoff. It was a touchback. I'm like, dude, it's a touchback, and I got blindsided.
Were you a 5 or a 4? Where were you located at,
I was
bro?
I was a 5, but I'm telling you what, I got a good look at that ceiling. I was like, man, this is a beautiful stadium. This is a beautiful dome.
Oh,
and
no.
He even stopped and said, "Welcome, rookie." He even said, "Welcome." He said, "Welcome to the league, rook." He said those words. I'll never forget. I was like, man, that is crazy.
Oh,
And I learned quick, man. I learned
hey.
quick, dude. And I get caught slipping if you want. I've had my moments, man. I've been stiff armed, dude.
Hey,
Shoot.
I always
What's
tell
his
people
name?
you play it long
Dub
enough,
got me.
man. It'll happen. You play
I'm
long
like,
enough, you
dang,
get
but
got. Yeah.
I've also embarrassed. I've embarrassed
Big
guys myself.
facts.
So it goes
Big
both
facts.
ways. And it's just but that was my welcome to the league moment. I learned, okay, I gotta keep my head on a swivel, man. Touchbacks don't mean nothing up here.
They try to catch a body however they can get it, man. You know that. No, I like it, man. I like it. Well, Miles, man, we definitely appreciate you once again, man, taking time to hop on the podcast with us, man.
Oh, of course.
Wish you nothing but the best going forward. We rooting like heck for y'all boys over there, man. So go ahead and take care of business these last 2 ones as well, man. All right?
Let's do it.
My
Let's
dog,
do it.
man. Appreciate you again, man.
All right, peace, bro.
See you guys. Thanks, guys.